morning. Good morning and welcome. Good morning, thank you. Good morning and welcome to the Ventura Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Bonnie Rose. It's great to see you here today. It's great to see your faces as we're starting to slowly become unmasked. So I just want to welcome you to our Kindness Cathedral, our Temple of Transformation, and just trust that you'll have a beautiful time this morning and learn something new, something that really blesses your life. And I'm going to pass the word over to Lonnie, our board president.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, that feels so good. So happy to have everyone joining us here in person and in Facebook land and YouTube and just all the ways that we connect. And I like to, we have the Jennifer Squared today.
Oh, yes, that's right, we do.
We have our beloved Jennifer Gadberry Hadrys speaking, and then our divine Jennifer, where'd you go?
That's not Jennifer, by the way. That's
What'd you
Chris.
do with her? Anyway,
Yeah.
rumor has it that we have Jennifer in the house.
I saw her.
Okay, I did too. Maybe that's an illusion.
Yes.
And the topic of Lent, who doesn't love a little Lent?
Right, I love a little Lent.
Yeah. So
Okay.
settle in and let's have some fun this morning.
Thank you so much, Lonnie. Thanks. Let's hear from Bill, who's one of our youth and family stars. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Bill Hadrys with Youth and Family. Have you ever tried something new that was a bit challenging, that didn't go well the first time?
Yes. Oh, oops.
Were you disappointed or
Publix.
even a little frustrated?
Yes.
Or maybe for my older children here, have you ever taken a test and thought you aced it, only to find a lower grade when you got it back?
Yes.
Never? In life, sometimes things happen that frustrate or disappoint us. We make mistakes. But that is how we grow. It can seem difficult to shake off those negative thoughts, but that's exactly what is needed. What do most people do when a fly lands on them or they pinch their finger? They shake it off, right? Who knew Taylor Swift was a sage? When we release our fears, doubts, and return to a positive outlook, we attract all the goodness that can be imagined. Releasing and letting go of ideas, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve creates openness and space. It removes obstacles and impediments in the way. So, take a second, and can you think of a belief, an idea, or worry that you have that doesn't feel good? Would it feel better if you let it go? So I invite you to repeat after me. No matter what comes my way,
No matter what comes my way,
I shake it off.
I shake it off.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll hear from Lacey, our practitioner. Thank you. Hi.
Good morning, everybody. If the practitioners would stand up and join me, I'd appreciate it. See all your beautiful faces. Thanks. Everybody take a deep breath. I know there's only one life, and that life is God's life. And God's life is the life of everyone, everywhere, all the time, no matter what. God is in each and every one of us as we sit wherever we are today listening to these words. And there's no place that God is not. God is kindness, God is divine intelligence, God is wisdom and knowledge, and God is available to all of us all the time. And I'm so very grateful for that. And also for Ernest Holmes, for Science of Mind, for Centers for Spiritual Living, all the connections, all the ways we love and care about each other as a community. in our own special kindness cathedral and everywhere present. And I know that today is going to be a beautiful day, full of new ideas, full of laughter, full of warmth, full of love. And with that, I release my words into the universal law, knowing as I speak them, they are already so. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Lacey. We give thanks for that sincere prayer that drew us deeper into the true self, into the being that we are, the majestic yet humble being that abides within us, that gives unceasingly. We rest in that being right now as we listen to the words of our sacred reading.
An excerpt from God and the Big Bang by Daniel C. Matt. At the burning bush, Moses' sense of separateness was consumed. His mask of personality melted away. His self was effaced. But Moses was exceptional. Ego usually persists and finds subtle ways to maintain itself, even in a context of nothingness, as illustrated by the following tale. One Yom Kippur, in a small, crowded synagogue, the rabbi stood in front of the ark, pouring out his heart like water. Having completed a litany of confessions, he added his own spontaneously, God, I am nothing, absolutely nothing. The cantor, witnessing such fervor, approached the ark too. God, he called out, I have led your children today in prayer. Together we have offered words to crown you on high, but in truth I know that I am nothing, absolutely nothing. Silence reigned. And then a simple Jewish man near the back of the congregation, inspired by the rabbi and the cantor, cried out, God, I am nothing, nothing. At which the cantor leaned over to the rabbi and whispered, look who thinks he is nothing. Amen.
Amen. And so it is. And from the place of nothingness that is really everythingness, the void that contains all possibilities, let us remember that presence in ourselves, that place within us that is ripe, that is pregnant with possibilities that have not yet manifested, but that manifest in their own sacred, perfect time as we allow the trappings of the material world, whatever holds us back, the limitations that we impose upon ourselves, that we enter and center into this beautiful spot within us that is indefinable, that has no name, but that is also everything. Some of us call this place the I Am presence. Some of us call it love. Some of us call it grace or God or goodness. The Buddha, Jesus, Yahweh, whatever it is we call it, it is within us. Today, this morning, we'll call it I Am. As we sing together, I am remembering who I am. We sing together to remember our true selves. And as we remember our true selves, we remember the self, the true self of everybody in this community. And that remembrance ripples out to bless the entire cosmos. Let us sing together. I am remembering who I am. from the purity of this divine remembrance that embraces everything, that is in all things as all things. Let us deepen in this remembrance and then breathe in and exhale, opening our eyes in love and in service to what is, as it is, and so it is. Namaste.
Boy, is it good to see your face. Is it good to see your smile. Good morning. Wow, there's a lot going on in the world. And the place I always love to come back to is that place of how can I be of service now? And how many of you know St. Francis? He's on your team. Is he on your team? Yeah, he's on my team. And his prayer is always such a comfort to me when I feel powerless to do anything in the world. And I asked him if it was all right if I added another verse. And he said, okay. So this is called the self-love prayer of St. Francis. Are you ready? Lord, make me an instrument of thy peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith, despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy, joy, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. It is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Make me an instrument of your peace. Where there's self-hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury in me, I welcome pardon. Where there's self-doubt, faith, despair, hope, darkness in me I call light. Where I am sad, bring joy, joy, joy. O Divine Mother, grant that I may be consoled from within. To know and understand myself, open my heart to me. As I receive, I give to another. In pardoning myself, I am free to forgive. It is in dying to my little self I am born. I am born. I am born. I am born. Kyrie eleison. Kyrie
Thank you so much, everybody. That was Jennifer Russell and her husband, Michael Gale, on guitar. It's just such a pleasure. I don't know if you noticed, St. Francis is on our side. He's in the balcony right behind Mr. Rogers there. They move around a lot. Well, we're not looking at night, you know. Anyway. I'm sure, great conversations, yeah. That's kind of my vision of what heaven is, you know. Yeah. So anyway, I wanted to just take a moment to introduce you to our guest speaker today. Jennifer Gadberry Hadrys, very kindly gave me a Sunday off this week, and she's offered to speak for me. Jennifer is in her final moments of ministerial school. She's been a practitioner. Yay, I know. She's been a practitioner here for years, like 10, 12 years, and then shortly, a little while ago, decided to go to the School of Ministry and has done great there, and she's a delight, and we're just so honored to welcome her to our stage this morning. So please, let's give Jennifer lots of love as she comes forward. Thank you.
Thank you. So, my talk title today is Lent Trap. And this picture is the Last Supper done with laundry lint. You can see it at Ripley's, believe it or not. I'm amused by these things. So thank you, Brian. So a imam, a priest, and a rabbit walk into a bar. And the rabbit looks up and goes, "I think I'm a typo." In Science of Mind, we talk about all faiths. We bless all faiths to God. Today, I'm going to talk about Lent, and Lent is a Christian tradition. And the idea of Lent is 40 days of fasting. So I'm kind of looking into it, and I know what Lent is for me personally. When I was 9, and I strong-armed my parents into letting me go to Catholic catechism. The first Lent there, you know, we were told that it's 40 days, and it's like Jesus in the desert, and you're going to give up something, and you don't eat meat on Fridays, and there's a lot of rules, and it's not really 40 days. My little math brain was like blowing up. It's like, because it don't count Sundays, and it's only meat on Friday, and I'm just like, what is happening? But I was determined because I wanted to grow up to be a nun when I was 9. So I knew I had a plan. Am I the only one that watched Sound of Music? And I didn't want to be Maria. I wanted to be the head nun. Like, she had it going on. She was like, meh, meh. That's what I wanted to be. You know, it's pretty severe for a 5-year-old to declare to her parents, like, that's me. Those are my people. My mom's like, oh my gosh. So fast forward to 9, and I'm with my little friends in catechism, and what are we going to give up for Lent? You know, I'm going to give up my doll. I'm going to give up my bike. And I'm like, I wanted to be the best because, you know, I'm going to be Mother Superior. So I'm going to give up electricity. Because I had to be the best Lenter ever. You know? I go home and my mom is like, we are not, because I'm going to do my homework by candlelight like Jesus. That's what I was telling everybody. I'm running around. And my mom was like, we are not giving up electricity for Lent because, you know, you have a wild hair. And I don't even remember what I ended up giving up. I'm sure it was just the normal thing, you know, like everybody else. I'm like, oh, man, dashed. But then I get a little older, and I'm like, what is Lent? What is Lent really? You know, why are we doing this? I had, you know, the why. Most people get the whys when they're like 2. I got the whys when I was like in middle school. So why? Why would we do 40 days is the arbitrary thing. Why is this? Why is this? You know, and you're told in Catholicism that it's, again, because Jesus was in the desert for 40 days. He purified before he started his ministry. And then I was like, well, did that happen in the springtime? And nobody could tell me when it happened. Like, when in time in the year did it happen? Like, why are we doing it before Easter? And it's because it's convenient. You know, it's the only answer I got then. But if you look further, in Europe, and as Christianity was spreading into Europe, this time of year is a lean time for food. It's a lean time. You know, you're probably eaten through your stores, your winter stores. The crops aren't producing, and you don't want to kill all of your farm animals because they're pregnant. And so it's a lean time. In England, they actually, before Christianity came in there, they called it the hungry gap. So when Christianity was rolling through Europe, and it started assimilating traditions. We know that. You know, we know Christmas has a lot of pagan, and so it's assimilating traditions. So Christianity assimilated this idea of this hungry gap and made Lent, and it made sense, and people kind of took it up, like, oh, that makes sense. And then what I see is that religion kind of crystallizes that into a dogma, crystallizes those traditions into a dogma. And so if you're, you know, a pesky 11-year-old going, why are we doing this? This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for us, right? We live here in Ventura. We have food year-round. You know, why we don't have to have this hungry gap. So why are we doing this dogma? It's a good question. So when I started out in Science of Mind, taking my classes, there was a class that we read this book that I said I didn't need, called Living the Science of Mind. I'm going to read a quote from it, but not from the book because it's too small, and I need reading glasses now, so I'm not going to read it from the book. Ernest Holmes says, "Shorn of dogmatism, freed from superstition, and always ready for greater illumination, religious science offers the student of life the best that the world has discovered." Oh, look at that. So, yeah, that feels good, right? Us in New Thought and Science of Mind, like, we don't need dogma. We are the faith of abundance. We are what is it? There's a good in the world and you ought to have it. It is your birthright. More. It's ours. So why would we ever want to fast? Why would we ever, on purpose, practice deprivation? Anybody? So he's like, it's fun. Aren't you excited? Come on. I was excited about Lent starting. Like, you know, it's time. It's time for me to show how awesome I am. Come on. I'm going to give up electricity. No, I'm not doing that. So what happens is if you look at the idea of fasting and you kind of shift it a little, which is what we do in Science of Mind. We shift things. We look at what is the meaning behind. So we're doing the kind of the peeling of the onion. when I'm looking at Lent as my little Catholic self, it's like, this is what we do because we're Catholic. And then as my rebellious self, well, that's what you do because you just took a pagan tradition and made it your own and then told everybody if they didn't do it, they're going to hell because you're bad. I was very rebellious. And then when you go further, you go deeper, you mature a little bit, you think, well, maybe there's something good here. You look at fasting, you look at Lent, you look at these types of traditions, and you find them throughout every Abrahamic faith. So the Christians are not the only ones that fast. The Jewish people fast. They have they do it Friday night, so Friday night sundown to an hour after sundown on Saturday. They do a certain type of, depending on the denomination, fasting. They have food fasting things too. And then our Islamic brothers and sisters, they also fast. They have Ramadan and they have their traditions. So you'll see it, and for me, if a lot of people are doing it, they're getting something out of it, and I want to know what it is, and I want to know how I can get that too. So that's where we're getting into Lent. So I looked at Lent, and I look at fasting, and I look at it as a releasing. And releasing I know about, especially with the traditions here. We release at the end of our prayer. You'll hear everybody who prays. At the end, there's some form of, and I release. And then we also release when we do our visioning practice. So actually one of the steps of visioning, you go into a meditative state. You align your head and your heart. You open up to the universe. It's a lovely, lovely practice. And to listen to and to kind of download what is this highest vision that I'm going to experience. So when you're opening yourself up to that, one of the steps is, what do I need to release to allow this vision to happen? And I love that. What do I have to release? Well, I don't always love it. Sometimes I get things that I don't like in there. And sometimes, so here's a quick litmus test. When you're in an interview and they say, tell us something, what's your downfall? What's something that you bad about yourself? And, your pat answer is like, I care too much. I work too hard. Okay, I call BS on those. Those are not the right answer, right? When I'm visioning, sometimes if I'm not completely aligned, what do I need to release? I need to just never talk to that person again. I need to just ignore that, whatever, and that's the ego kind of seeping in back in there, trying to control things, trying to make things more comfortable. When I get release notices like, I need to release control in this situation. Another one I don't like is, I need to release being right. No, I don't want to release being right. I want to be the Mother Superior, right? I want to be like, Maria, you're going to go work for this old dude, and you're going to end up falling in whatever, but, because you're out of hand, and I want to be her, and I want to control the situation. You would think, after raising 3 boys and having multiple animals and in this place in my life, that I would realize that control is not going to happen. Here I am. There's still a little part of me thinking I can manage things, so releasing the control. And so how do we practice this releasing? How do we practice so that we aren't holding on to things? So I'm going to ask everybody a real quick question. What's better, breathing in or breathing out? Have I done this one? I don't remember. I don't think I did this with you guys before. So breathing in or breathing out, which one's better? Yes, so you guys are too good. I was actually in a ministerial class, and somebody asked that, and I actually had friends that were like, breathing in, breathing out. And I'm like, what? Try just breathing in all the time. It doesn't work, and try breathing out all the time. It doesn't work. That works even less. So we have to be in flow. We have to release. You can't always just be taking in. You have to allow things to flow through. So I have another Ernest Holmes quote from his pamphlet, Only Reality. And this quote is, "Too often we are afraid of letting go of the little good we think we hold in our hand, lest we lose it. Not realizing that only as we release this good can we expect its increase." So I'm going to read that one again. "Too often we are afraid of letting go of the little good we think we hold in our hand, lest we lose it, not realizing that that only as we release this good can we expect it to increase." I was just talking with a friend before church, and I think I would edit that. And I would say, not realizing that only as we release this good can we expect it to change. Can we expect it to change into what we need now? Because what I needed when I was 9 is different than what I needed when I was 11, which is different than what I need now. I don't want to be the Mother Superior now, but I can honor the 5-year-old that wanted to be Mother Superior. I could honor that how she looked at it. She was adorable. Trust me, I got pictures to prove it. And she was, again, she was trying to control her environment. She didn't want to get married, and she didn't want to have any man telling her what to do. So those nuns on Sound of Music did not have any men in the movie telling them what to do. So I was like, that's for me. I was also being raised on a military base, so it could have been why I was a little bit prone to not wanting that masculine energy. So what I do, I'm going to talk about this practice that I didn't come up with, but that I embraced a couple years ago for fasting, for Lent, for the Christian Lent. So for 40 days, I started on Good Friday. I started on Ash Wednesday, this past Wednesday. Every day, I set an intention. A few years ago, when I first started this, I had a suitcase that was a perfectly good suitcase, and I knew I was going to be giving it to charity, and I put the suitcase out, and my intention was that every day I was going to put an item in the suitcase, and then at the end of Lent, that suitcase was going to go on to live its life. I'm doing that practice again. I don't have a suitcase now because I gave it away, so I had to find a box to put everything in. So you get a receptacle of some sort. And every day, my practice is I align my head and my heart, and I open, and I listen. And sometimes I get a direct hit, and sometimes I get you need to go look in the living room or whatever, but I listen. And then this is what's key for me is, because I can meditate. I meditate all the time. I have my morning meditation practice. But sometimes I meditate, I might journal, and then I put that up on the shelf, and then I just go about my day. But what this practice does is I meditate, and then I do. Amit Goswami, he talks about you do, be, do, that we are constantly working between those two. And we work between those two so quickly that it seems like that there aren't two parts. But there is that part of us that is no thing, that from the reading, that no thing part, that part that isn't physical, that consciousness. And then there is this body, this presence, this being, the thing part. And so, be, that no thing, do, the physical. You're going back and forth. So what happens with this process is I align, and then I move, and I get the item, and when I get the item and I put it in the receptacle, I acknowledge. I have a fun game. I like to anthropomorphize my things. I'm easily amused. So I kind of look at it, and I think about what wonderful life it's going to have now. So for example, I'm going to have a story about when I did this a couple years ago. I found a dress in my closet. I didn't think I went to the closet. I'm like, I got this dress out, had a tag on it still. It's a good dress. really good dress. It looked amazing on the picture online when I ordered it at 12:30 at night when I was on my phone not sleeping. And I got it and I put it on, and it just didn't, it wasn't right. I put it in the closet so I didn't wear it for whatever I bought it for. And it sat there. It's a good dress. And I'm like, nope, I am honoring this practice. I have agreed to do this practice. I'm honoring this practice. This dress is going into the suitcase. And then I thought about it, and I'm grateful for that dress now because I thought about it, and it was like, I could see the dress going to charity and the person that found that dress. I don't know, maybe some of you don't thrift shop. I thrift shop. I love thrift shop. But when you're there and you get that dress and it's still got the tags on it, it's like, slap my palm. I have found it. So I knew that this dress was somebody was going to find it. They were going to be excited about it. And they were going to wear it to the interview or to the party or to the park, whatever. And they were going to enjoy it. Or I could hold on to this dress, leave it in my closet, never wear it, be upset about it because it's in there. Or I could be grateful that I bought that dress because I knew that it was going to go on and bless somebody else's life. And that's what I'm talking about with the release, that we release with love. We release with gratitude. My husband has probably listened to this talk more than he wants to acknowledge. And so he's been singing the Let It Go, kind of, let it go. And I'm like, no, that's not it, right? Because she's singing, let it go, let it go. No, we're not doing that. We're releasing. It's a gentle flowing out of my life and into somebody else's life with gratitude and love. I'm not releasing it with self-hate that I bought it. I'm releasing it with love. So that's the other part of this practice is that I didn't expect to find when I was doing this, was that I actually am finding a lot of self-love in these items that I'm putting into the box. Self-love for, maybe I'm kind of silly, self-love for the person that bought it, not knowing what she was doing. Self-love for the idea that I'm at least committing to releasing it and practicing this, doing this practice. So I can pack a lot in. This takes me like 15 minutes, and it took me like 20 minutes to talk about. But so we're meditating, we're moving, we're practicing self-love. And that is my take on Lent. There's other things that you can do, these types of processes that you can do for fasting. The one I read about recently was a tech screen fast that you could do on Fridays. So Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, no screens, no internet, no technology. Yeah. See, if my 40-day one sounds really good now. I was going to do that's the Friday one at the beginning of the year. That brings me to another thing, is I had this, I get that little girl every once in a while pops up. I'm going to give up electricity. I'm going to do this screen fasting. I'm going to do it for 2022, and then at the end of 2022, I'm going to do a talk, and it's going to be amazing. I'm going to have all this amazing stuff. And then the first Friday of 2022 came, and I think there was a new series on TV or something, and my husband put it on, and I was like, look at this. So I want to encourage everybody to come up with a practice and actually do it. Find one that works for you. It doesn't have to be my 40 item and 40 day, but if you want to do it, let me know on Facebook. It doesn't have to be the screen thing. Whatever works for you. Even just being mindful when you throw out the garbage, to be grateful, to release that garbage with gratitude. Be grateful that the garbage men are coming and getting it and taking it away, and you don't have to live in it. But just be grateful, live in the flow, and that's my challenge. We're supposed to do challenges. It's funny, I always think there's no dogma in Science of Mind and New Thought, and then you learn how to do talks, and they give you the rules for talks. So I guess we're not really dogmatic about not having dogma. But my challenge for everybody is find a releasing practice that works for you and commit to it and do it. You'll be glad you did. So I am done in time. I'll do the prayer. I need prayer, guys, after that. So, just everybody close your eyes, and if you're comfortable, take this moment. Take this moment knowing that we are all nothing, from nothing, and everything at the same time. That just as God is everywhere in everything, there's a part of our consciousness that is beyond this physical realm, that unifies each one of us. Unifies each one of us divinely and beautifully. Taking a moment to feel that connection. Taking a moment to realize what a blessing this time together is. What a blessing it is that we live in this flow of life, taking in and releasing and finding that highest and best good in every single moment. I know that not only are we blessed here in Ventura's Center for Spiritual Living, I bless all paths to God. Temples, mosques, ashrams, temples, I said that. Atheists, 5-year-olds that want to be nuns, 11-year-olds that think that God doesn't exist. I bless everything and everyone. And I'm grateful to do it. Grateful to know God. Grateful for this moment. Grateful for this time together. And I release this word into the infinite and universal law. And together we say, and so it is.
As Lonnie's coming up here, I'm just curious, how many of you wanted to be the flying nun? Yes, I so wanted to be the flying nun. You wanted to be who? Bewitched? Oh, yeah. Well, she's not a nun, Doreen. There's a nun of her own kind, yeah. Well, thank you, Jennifer. That was a beautiful talk, and really appreciate you stepping in for me and sharing your wisdom with us. And before, I probably shouldn't do a commentary on your talk, but one of the things that I thought was so ironic was that when you were a kid, you said you didn't want to be around a bunch of men. And Jennifer's married to Bill, our youth and family director, who's up here, and then she's got 3 huge boys, right? No girl children, just all boys in her house, right? What? Yeah, she went to engineering school where she was around a lot of men. So you see what happens? God laughs at your plans all the time. And Jennifer is living proof of that. So there you go. Anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Lonnie.
Well, I'm going to continue on Jennifer because that was an amazing talk. And I want to say that I believe I'm a practitioner because Jennifer kept taking classes, and I thought, well, if Jennifer takes a class, I'm going to take a class. And then pretty soon it's like, well, if Jennifer's going to be a practitioner, I should be a practitioner. Mm-hmm. And it's just been such a joy to be in this path with you. And I saw you up here speaking this morning, and it really took me back to when we were shut down, and Jennifer was filming our first Facebook with her phone. Mm-hmm. Her phone. Mm-hmm. And so there's so many possibilities in life, and you never know what that can be, but you just say yes. And so thank you, Jennifer, for saying yes.
Thank you. Yes.
So this morning, kind of spinning off Jennifer's talk, is that I think that one of the things that we can simply do in letting go is letting go of those false beliefs, those things that don't serve us any longer, like not enough, not good enough, not being enough, not having enough, just that lack mentality. And so this morning, as we prepare our offering, I just invite you to think of all the possibilities that this gift creates within our world. And we see it manifesting every day in our own lives, that goodness multiplies in miraculous ways. So in that spirit of letting go and being all that we can be, I invite you to place your offering over your heart and repeat after me. We trust in spirit.
We trust in spirit.
Love is a giver and receiver of all that we are.
Love is the giver and receiver of all that we are.
We offer this gift.
We offer this gift.
It is an outer expression of inner abundance and compassion.
It is an outer expression of inner abundance and compassion.
Our gifts bless many
Our gifts bless many
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
and return to us multiplied in miraculous ways,
so that we may give again.
so that we may give again.
And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. I love when anybody can talk about dogma, because I was a missionary kid. I was a Presbyterian missionary kid and a granddaughter of 2 missionary families. So I got very infiltrated in the dogma. Yes, and here we are. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It's happening through you. It's happening through us. So I want you to sing with me, wonderful, but we're going to speak it a little different, wonderful. Can you say that? Wonderful. So you got to be cool, man. You got to be cool. Something wonderful. Okay? Here we go. This is Michael Gale. He found me in a phone book. Yeah. The Union phone book. He says, hey, you want to play some music with me? I was like, I don't know. And here we are, 35 years later. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful. It's happening through my mind. It's happening through my body. Oh yeah. Right here in my heart. And I let it be.
Something wonderful.
Got it?
Something wonderful. Something wonderful.
Something wonderful is happening through you right now.
Something wonderful.
Something wonderful is happening through you right now.
Something wonderful.
It's happening through your mind. It's happening through your body. Right here in your heart. So let it be.
Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful.
Michael, you are wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through us right now. Something wonderful. Something wonderful is happening through us right now. Something wonderful. It's happening through our minds. It's happening through our bodies. Right here in our hearts. And we let it be. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Yeah. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Something wonderful. Good job.
Yeah.
Let's see. Happy birthday to you. You have been a great blessing to our center over the years. Lonnie Cassidy, RScP. Thanks, Lonnie. All right, so some announcements real quick. Let's see. Do we have any ambassadors here? People wearing, oh, good. Jim Eckley is an ambassador. That means that if you're new to the center or you have any questions, you can ask any of us, but Jim is really the person to go to because he is the expert with all of the answers to everything about your life. So you go to Jim, okay? The second Wednesday meditation is March 9th at 6:30 p.m. It's a Kindness Awaken Circle, and it's facilitated by Peter Frank on Zoom. You can check our website to find out information about that. We have a new workshop coming up, Best Day Ever workshop. That's on Sunday, March 13th, 12 to 1, in person at VCSL right here. It's facilitated by Shelley Eller, who is a very talented healer and facilitator. For more information and to register, it's on our website classes page. Also, a new class is starting, save the date. It's 5 Mondays, April 4th through May 2nd, and it's a Freedom from Food class. For any of you who need freedom from food, let me just say it politely. Freedom from food, okay. And that's facilitated by Mary O'Carrigan, who also is a magnificent teacher and just such an expert on the topic. And she's little. She's really tiny, right? Okay. Anyway, okay, outreach, volunteer opportunities. On our website are for details, and we're still serving it family to family. We're serving lunch to unhoused folks every Monday, and then Lift Up Your Voice is collecting items for folks that are in need of homes, small furniture, small kitchen items, pans, silverware, things like that, and also working bicycles are needed. Choir rehearsals for Hearts and Harmony Choir are now in person, also virtual via Zoom on Sundays from 11:30 to 12:30. If it's in person, you're meeting up here, right, for now? Okay, and then after service options, we've got several things going on. Our hospitality is back this week. Yay to the hospitality, ladies. Thank you so much. And we are inviting people to also feed each other. So if you have any COVID-friendly, like wrapped snacks, you can bring them in to share with others. You can also pray with a practitioner. Practitioners are wearing white stoles, and they'll come down front, and you can do a heartfelt prayer with them. We also have some free books and puzzles in our bookstore. We also have books for sale in our bookstore. All good things. One more quick question. This is a congregation participation question. I was thinking next week, instead of doing a regular service, of doing a special prayer service for Ukraine. Does that sound appealing to anybody? Yes? Does it sound horrible to anybody? Well, if it sounds horrible, let me know privately, okay? Okay, so that's what we'll do next Sunday. I just wanted to kind of get a temperature reading here. I think that's it. So let's go ahead and we'll pray, and then we'll go have snacks and get free puzzles and buy some books and get prayers and have a beautiful rest of your Sunday. So let's turn within. And so I turn within just to trust and know that there is this powerful presence, this divine love that we call God or love or spirit, the essence of all. It is both nothing and everything. It is form and formless. It is the wordless word. It is that which lives and moves and has its perfect being, that which created the entire cosmos out of itself. And as members of this beautiful place called existence, we are one with that divine presence. We are one with the cosmos. We are one with divine. We are one with pure energy and pure spirit. And so today we remember that. We have remembered that together, and we vow to carry that remembrance with us as we go our separate ways, as we move through life this coming week until we return again on Sunday. As we move through life, working with others, being in our jobs, being with our children, being with our pets, being in traffic, being in the grocery store, wherever we are, we know God is there. We also take a moment to examine and embody the sacredness of release and check in with ourselves and see, what is it that I can release this week? What is it that I can release? What is it that I no longer need, that I will circulate and allow that to make room for the greater good that wants to be coming through us, sometimes in strange disguises, but that greater good that always is seeking expression through us every single day of our lives, every single minute of our lives. I'm so grateful for this powerful spiritual teaching and for all of the transformation that I know has taken place here today, not only in us, but the transformation that ripples out and blesses the world. I am also so grateful for all teachings everywhere. And I give thanks for this sacred time together. I give thanks for God. I give thanks for our beautiful congregation. I give thanks for peace. May it prevail on earth in all ways. And in the deep spirit of gratitude, may we say together, and so it is.